Welcome to today's transformation dive, here in the Earn Flow Zone. Ever feel like your bank account is playing hide and seek and you're losing? You're not alone. We've all been there, peeking at that balance like it's a jump scare in a horror movie. Get ready, because today we're pulling back the curtain on something fundamental that could change everything. If you're into real, actionable money and mindset content, hit like and subscribe. It helps way more than you think. And hey, I'd love to know where you're watching from, or drop a comment with your biggest money habit win. Maybe it's finally ditching that $8 coffee, or maybe it isn't, and that's okay too. Let's dive in and change the way you think about success. You open your banking app and flinch. It's okay. You can admit it. You've been avoiding it, haven't you? There's that familiar knot in your stomach, a quickening pulse, maybe just that heavy sigh of pure dread. You see the numbers, the bills piling up, the student loan balance that feels less like a debt and more like a personal troll mocking your life choices. The impulse is strong, almost overwhelming. Close the app. Pretend it's not happening. Scroll through social media instead. Anything to escape the cold, hard reality of those digits staring back. Or, if you do look, maybe that familiar wave of blame washes over you instantly. The rent is extortionate. Your boss clearly doesn't appreciate your genius enough to pay you more. Inflation is a relentless thief. The market is obviously rigged against the little guy. It feels less like managing your money and more like the world is actively conspiring against your bank balance. And you feel utterly powerless, just a passenger on this runaway train of escalating expenses and stubbornly stagnant income. This feeling of powerlessness, this is the foundation of the most common, insidious money myth there is, that your financial situation is something happening to you. You are primarily a victim of external forces beyond your control, merely reacting to whatever punches life throws your way. It's like believing gravity is conspiring to make you spill your coffee, rather than admitting you were juggling three things while running. Obviously, that daily $8 latte is why you're not a millionaire yet, right? That specific, highly caffeinated beverage is holding back your destiny, not the fact that you haven't looked at your actual spending habits in 6 months, or prepared to ask for a raise in 3 years, or considered a side hustle. It's infinitely easier, less confronting, and frankly, less painful to blame the latte or the economy or your demanding landlord or literally anything outside yourself than it is to look honestly in the mirror at your own choices and actions. This isn't about shaming anyone. It's about recognizing a universal trap. You feel the effects, the stress, the restriction, the fear, but the cause feels external, untouchable, a force of nature you can only endure. But here's the surprising myth bust. What if that's the biggest lie you've been told, and maybe even sold yourself about your money? What if the single most powerful principle for financial transformation isn't about some complex investment strategy, finding a magic expense to cut, or even earning millions tomorrow, but about something far more fundamental, far closer to home? What if it's about claiming something you didn't even realize you'd quietly, perhaps subconsciously, given away? Ask yourself right now, what external factor feels most like the reason for your financial stress? And how much energy are you putting into blaming that instead of finding your own leverage? This one question can change everything. All right, with that foundation set, let's tackle the first big idea that shifts you from feeling like a passenger in your financial life to the actual pilot. This principle is simple, almost disarmingly so, but it is absolutely revolutionary when you internalize it. Financial ownership. Now, what does that actually mean? It's about understanding that while you absolutely cannot control every single thing that impacts your money, believe me, nobody can stop inflation single-handedly, predict every market crash, or avoid every unexpected medical bill. What you can do is own your response to all of it. Think about that for a second. You own your decisions. You own your habits. You own your knowledge, or importantly, your current lack of it and the choice to gain more. You own your agency, your power to act. Let's use a metaphor that really brings this to life. Are you renting your financial life, or do you own it? Think about the difference. When you rent a house, you might complain about the leaky faucet, the noisy neighbors. That could be the economy, the government, or maybe even your boss. Then, you often just put up with things because, hey, it's not yours to fix. It can feel temporary, transient. You're living in someone else's structure, under someone else's rules. But when you own that house, man, everything changes. You have a stake. You don't just complain about the leaky faucet. You grab a wrench because it's your house, and that leak is costing you money. You strategically renovate or improve things, not just for comfort, but to increase its value because it's your investment. You make long-term plans because you're not going anywhere. This is yours. Here's the surprising insight, the core concept that challenges the common thinking. Financial ownership isn't primarily about how much money or how many assets you currently have. It's fundamentally about how much control and responsibility you choose to take over your financial reality, no matter how small it seems right now. Consider this: a beginner who earns a modest income but meticulously tracks every dollar they spend using a budget app. They are exercising profound financial ownership. They aren't waiting for more money to magically appear. They are controlling the flow of what they do have. A mid-earner who feels stuck but takes the initiative to research their market value and negotiate a higher salary at their current job or land a better offer elsewhere, that's pure financial ownership in action, directly influencing their earning potential. An ambitious builder or investor, strategically learning and deploying capital, even if starting small, they are claiming ownership over their future growth by making informed, active decisions. None of these people are sitting around waiting for permission. They aren't blaming external conditions, saying, "I can't budget because the economy is bad," or "I can't earn more because my boss is unfair," or "I can't invest because the market is too volatile." Instead, they are looking at their situation, whatever it is, and actively asking, what part of this, however small, is within my power to influence or change? They are acting within their own sphere of influence. This shift from passive waiting or external blaming to active, internal questioning is the first step in claiming your financial ownership. So let's get practical. Think about one financial stressor you've been feeling lately. Maybe debt, maybe not saving enough, maybe income feels too low. Be honest. Have you been blaming external factors for it? Now, try reframing it just for a moment. Ask yourself the question, what part of this situation, however small, is within my power to influence or change? Just holding that question, just considering the possibility of your agency, is the very beginning of stepping out of the renter's mindset and starting to build your own financial home. This isn't about having all the answers right away. It's about embracing the question and the responsibility it implies. This one question, consistently applied, changed everything for me when I truly embraced financial ownership. Okay, let's dive into expanding Section 3 based on your structured input. Start of Section 3. Now let's start where, for many, the rubber meets the road, and sometimes feels like it's skidding off it. Spending. You know the feeling. You swipe your card, tap your phone, and boom, money vanishes. It's like a financial magic trick, except you're the one losing the money, and there's no applause. Do you truly know where it all goes? Beyond the predictable big bills like rent, mortgage, or loan payments, there's this entire universe of micro-decisions that collectively pack a punch. Think about it. That daily coffee run that feels like a necessity? The impulsive online purchase you made because the algorithm just got you. The streaming service subscription you signed up for, ironically, then forgot about. The extra guacamole that cost more than the burrito itself? Yes, it happens. And yes, I still order it sometimes. We're human. These aren't just random expenses, they are choices, every single one. Owning your spending is about shifting gears. It's moving from being a passive participant in your financial life to becoming an active decision-maker. It's not about deprivation, telling yourself you can't have anything nice ever again. It's about intentionality. Imagine you're the CEO of your personal finances. Every single dollar is an employee, a resource you've earned, ready to go to work for you. Are your employees showing up aligned with the company's goals, your goals? Or are they hanging out by the water cooler, endlessly scrolling TikTok, adding zero value? Here's the surprising insight, and it's a big one. Tracking your spending isn't primarily about judgment. It's not about feeling guilty for that guac or that coffee. It's about awareness. Pure, unadulterated awareness. Think of it like installing security cameras in your own house. Suddenly, you see exactly who's coming and going, where things are moving, and what's happening in every corner. You might laugh at some things you discover. You might groan at others. But one thing is certain. You know. This knowledge is where the power lies. It's incredibly hard to change something you can't even see. You might genuinely think you spend $500 a month on groceries, only for tracking to reveal it's closer to $700 once you factor in those spontaneous, convenient store stops for a single item. You might dismiss subscriptions as minor, only to find $50, $80, maybe even $100 a month silently draining away on services you barely touch. For those just starting their financial journey, tracking is the absolute foundation. It's like learning to walk before you can run a marathon. For earners, it's the crucial guardrail that prevents lifestyle creep from quietly hijacking your increased income. And for the builders, it ensures your valuable capital is being deployed strategically towards growth, not disappearing into the financial ether. This one habit changed everything for me. The simple act of observing. So here is your action step, your immediate mission. For the next 3 days, track every single dollar you spend. Seriously, every single one. Don't filter, don't judge, just observe. Use a simple notebook, a note on your phone, a spreadsheet, a dedicated app. It absolutely does not matter how you do it. Just commit to the process. No excuses, no rationalizing, just observation. This deceptively simple act is a monumental first step in claiming true ownership of your cash flow. It's about seeing the reality before you can begin to shape it. Okay, let's pivot now from managing what you have to increasing the flow into your zone. This is where we talk about owning your earning power. For so many people, income feels fixed. You land a job, you get a salary, maybe a tiny annual raise if you're lucky, and that's the perceived ceiling. End of story. But this mindset is incredibly limiting. Owning your earning power is about fundamentally shifting your perspective. It's seeing your income not as a static number dictated by an employer or even the broader market initially, but as a dynamic reflection of the value you provide. A value you absolutely can and should actively increase and market. Think about Sarah. She's been in her administrative role for 3 years now. She's good at her job. She's reliable, but she feels seriously underpaid. Every time her rent goes up, she feels that squeeze and finds herself complaining about it constantly to her friends. She could absolutely keep doing that, waiting passively for a raise that might never materialize, or an external event to somehow improve her situation. But that's not owning her earning power. That's being a passenger in her financial life. Owning her earning power means Sarah takes the wheel. It means she researches average salaries for administrative roles in her specific geographic area, factoring in her experience level and industry. It means identifying skills she can build to increase her value, maybe mastering new software relevant to her role, taking a course on advanced spreadsheets, or even focusing on a communication or negotiation workshop. She then updates her resume, not just listing duties, but highlighting achievements and quantifiable results. Then, she actively looks for new opportunities where her increased value might be recognized. Or she prepares a compelling case to negotiate for higher compensation with her current employer. It's not about being greedy. It's about being compensated fairly for the value she brings. Here's the surprising insight, the mythbuster many people miss. Your income isn't just tied to the hours you put in, or even just your job title. It's primarily tied to your value proposition and your willingness and ability to advocate for it. It's not about getting paid. It's about earning your pay by consistently contributing and demonstrating value. If you're earning minimum wage and want a promotion, you own your earning power by becoming indispensable. Learning tasks above your pay grade and asking for the increased responsibility and compensation. If you run a business, owning your earning power means understanding the transformation or solution you provide to clients and charging accordingly, not just pricing based on hours or what the next guy charges. Unless the next guy has a killer yacht financed by smart pricing, maybe check their model. Owning your earning power means taking direct responsibility for increasing your value and ensuring you are compensated fairly for it. It shifts the focus from wishing for more money to creating the conditions to earn more money. It's proactive, not reactive. Your action right now, take 15 minutes. Research the market value for your current skills or your role in your specific location. Use sites like Glassdoor, LinkedIn Salary, PayScale, or consult salary reports. If you're a business owner, research what competitors charge for similar value, or, more importantly, quantify the value you provide to clients. What's the potential gap between what you earn and what your value could command? What skills or actions could help close that gap? Section 5. Negotiate your worth. Building on earning power, negotiation is a key skill in financial ownership, often overlooked out of fear or discomfort. You land a job offer, a client proposal is accepted, or it's time for a performance review. The common path? Just accept the first number. It feels safer, easier, like taking the default character class in a video game instead of customizing for maximum stats. But owning your worth means understanding that the initial offer is often just the start of a conversation, a base layer that needs refining. Think about David. He got a job offer with a decent salary, slightly above his last role. His instinct, like most people's, was to say yes immediately. It felt like a win. But David had been building his earn flow zone mindset. He'd done his research. Remember that previous section on earning power? He knew his skills were worth 10% more in that market based on salary surveys and his specific track record of delivering results. And the company hadn't included his preferred benefits package that was standard for roles of that seniority elsewhere. Owning his earning power meant he countered politely but confidently. He didn't make demands. He stated his value, referencing his research and highlighting how his specific skills translated into direct benefits for the company. The surprising insight? Negotiation isn't a battle. It's not a high-stakes poker game where someone has to lose. It's a collaborative, problem-solving process where you advocate for your needs while showing commitment to the shared goal. Companies, especially for higher-value roles, actually expect you to negotiate. It shows you understand your value and are serious about the relationship. It's like they've given you a recipe, and you're suggesting a minor tweak that will make the final dish even better for both of you. The fear of negotiation costs people thousands, even millions, over a career trajectory. It's pure financial non-ownership, like finding a significant amount of money you earned sitting on a table and walking away because you're slightly uncomfortable picking it up. Beginners in the earn flow zone might negotiate a starting salary that's closer to market rate, or ask for a better task assignment at work that aligns with their growth goals. Earners level up, negotiating promotions based on performance, increasing project rates with clients, or getting better terms from vendors. Builders operate at a higher level, negotiating complex deals, equity stakes, or strategic partnerships. The principle remains the same: understanding your value and confidently advocating for it. The cost of not doing this isn't just theoretical. It directly impacts your financial flow and long-term wealth. Your action today to embody this financial ownership. Identify one area where you could potentially negotiate in the next month. Perhaps a salary review coming up, a price for a service you're offering or buying, or even the terms of a large purchase. Prepare 3 bullet points explaining why you are asking for more or different terms. Focus on your value, your research into market rates or alternatives, or the specific skills, results you bring to the table. This isn't about being greedy. It's about aligning what you receive with the value you provide. Okay. So we've talked about understanding where your money goes and building that initial foundation. But for many, there's this other elephant in the room, or maybe a weight on their shoulders, and that's debt. It can genuinely feel like a heavy chain, right? Dragging you down, limiting your options. Whether it's credit cards, student loans, a car payment, or even medical bills, these obligations demand a piece of your income, often with frustratingly high interest rates that make the balance feel almost impossible to shrink. The common approach, the non-ownership mindset towards debt, looks like this. You make the minimum payments. Maybe you avoid logging into your accounts because seeing the total balance makes your stomach clench. And you probably feel a steady undercurrent of guilt or stress about it. It's the financial equivalent of discovering a leak in your roof and simply putting buckets down to catch the drips instead of actually fixing the hole. You're managing the symptom, not curing the problem. Owning your debt, though, that's different. That means facing it directly, looking it square in the eye, understanding every single number tied to it. And then, this is the crucial part, creating a proactive, intentional plan to eliminate it. It's about becoming the boss of your debt, not letting your debt boss you around. Think about Maria, a story we often hear. She was feeling completely overwhelmed by $15,000 in credit card debt, spread across 3 different cards. For months, she just paid the minimums, trying not to think about the total. But taking ownership meant sitting down, logging into every account, and listing out not just the balance for each card, but critically, the interest rate. And this is where the surprising insight hit her, just like it does for many people. Not all debt is created equal. She discovered one card had a shockingly high interest rate compared to the others. This revelation changes everything. High interest debt isn't just another bill. It's an emergency. It's a financial fire that needs to be put out first because it costs you exponentially more money, day after day, week after week, eating away at any progress you try to make. Ignoring this high-interest fire, that means passively accepting its control over your future earnings and limiting your freedom. Facing it means grabbing the extinguisher, creating a focused attack plan, and taking your power back. It's about stopping the bleeding so you can start building now. How you tackle it might look different depending on where you are. For beginners, simply confronting and tackling a small credit card balance might be the first big victory. Earners might be ready to aggressively pay down student loans using strategies like the debt avalanche or snowball method. Builders might even strategically use debt for leverage, but they manage it ruthlessly, understanding its cost and risk. Owning your debt is absolutely not about shame or dwelling on past mistakes. It's about embracing strategy, discipline, and reclaiming your financial future. It's taking control of the reins. So here is your immediate action step, the one that truly changed the game for countless people, including myself. Get a piece of paper, a spreadsheet, whatever works for you. List all your debts, every credit card, every loan, student, car, personal, even medical bills if you have them. And for each one, write down the current balance and, this is crucial, the interest rate. Don't just look. List. This isn't just an exercise in data entry, it's the first, non-negotiable step towards building your focused payoff plan and truly confronting your debt head-on. You can't fight an enemy you refuse to see clearly. Okay, let's talk about Section 7. Prioritize your future self. This is where the rubber meets the road, and honestly, it's a mindset shift that many people never make. You know how it is. You pay the rent, the utilities, the car payment, the grocery bill, maybe grab a coffee or two, and if there's anything left at the end of the month, then you think about saving or investing. It feels like a luxury, a bonus you get if you're not struggling. That, my friend, is the financial equivalent of being a perpetual renter of your own future. You're paying for the present, but you're not building any equity in the life you want down the line. You're just hoping something is left over to put towards that down payment on your future self. But the landlord of present expenses keeps raising the rent. Owning your future means flipping that script entirely. It means deciding that saving and investing aren't an afterthought. They are non-negotiable expenses, just like your rent or your electric bill. The difference: you're paying yourself first. You're allocating resources, your hard-earned money, to the future you. That future you who maybe won't want to work forever, who dreams of traveling the world, who wants to buy a home, or who needs to handle unexpected emergencies without instantly reaching for a high-interest credit card. You're not just saving money, you're buying freedom and security for a person you deeply care about, future you. Think of it like planting a tree. The best time was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. You water it consistently, and eventually, it provides shade and fruit. Here's the surprising part, the little secret that trips up so many people. Consistent, small amounts saved early are often dramatically more powerful than large amounts saved later. Why? Because of the magic of compounding. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but as it picks up speed and snow, it grows exponentially bigger. Your money earns money, and then that money earns more money, and so on. Time is the fertilizer for your financial garden, and it only works its magic if you plant the seeds. Waiting until you earn enough is perhaps the biggest trap of all. What is enough, anyway? For most people, as their income grows, their definition of enough moves too. That's the sneaky beast called lifestyle creep. The goalposts shift, and you're still stuck thinking you need more income before you can save. Owning your future self isn't about being rich today. It's about making a conscious decision today to set aside something, anything at all, consistently. It could be a beginner saving $10 or $20 a week, someone further along maxing out their company's 401k match. Free money alert! Or a seasoned earner setting up automated transfers to brokerage accounts. It's all rooted in the same fundamental principle: prioritizing your future self and making that payment non-negotiable. You wouldn't just forget to pay rent, would you? Treat your future self payment with the same gravity. Your action right now, before you do anything else, is this: decide on a tiny amount you can genuinely afford to automatically transfer from your checking account to a separate savings or investment account every single payday. Even if it feels insignificant, $10, $25, whatever feels right. Set up that automatic transfer today. Make it happen without having to think about it, like financial autopilot. This one habit changed everything for me, creating a consistent flow to my future instead of hoping for leftovers. Try this and watch how quickly that future self account starts to grow, building equity in your own amazing future. Okay, let's expand Section 8 based on the provided structure and requirements. Section 8. Demystify investing fear. All right, let's talk about something that trips up so many people on their path to financial freedom. The big, scary monster called investing fear. You feel it, don't you? It's that feeling that investing is some kind of secret club, like Fight Club, but with spreadsheets, where everyone speaks in complex code words like arbitrage, short selling, and quantitative easing. You picture Wall Street moguls yelling into phones, surrounded by screens full of confusing charts. That you think, yeah, that's not for me. It feels inaccessible, reserved only for the super wealthy, the finance grads, or people who genuinely enjoy reading annual reports, the way some people enjoy binge-watching reality TV. This feeling leads to a very common and very damaging state: paralysis. You put it off. You tell yourself you'll get to it when you have more money, or more time, or when the market is just right. Spoiler: the market is rarely just right, according to anyone. You assume it's too complicated, too risky, or that you're just not smart enough to understand it. This is the opposite of financial ownership. Financial ownership isn't about being born into wealth or having a finance degree. It's about taking control, understanding the levers available to you, and deciding to use them. It's realizing that investing is fundamentally simple at its core. It's just putting your money to work so that it has the potential to grow over time. Think of it like planting seeds. You put the seed, your money, in the ground, the investment, give it some sunlight and water, time and patience, and hopefully it grows into a plant, more money. And crucially, it grows in a way that can potentially outpace inflation, which is like a tiny little weed constantly trying to choke your financial garden. Here's the surprising insight that often makes the fear shrink. You absolutely do not need a finance degree, nor do you need a massive sum of money to start. The old image of buying individual stocks of companies you've never heard of, trying to time the market perfectly, is just one way to invest. And honestly, it's often not the best way for most people, especially beginners. The democratizing force of modern investing comes in simpler packages. Index funds and ETFs, exchange-traded funds, are incredible tools. They allow you to own tiny pieces, like just a few grains of sand from an entire beach, of hundreds or even thousands of different companies, or government bonds, or real estate trusts, all in a single low-cost package. Instead of trying to pick the winning horse in a race, you can bet on the entire stable. This makes diversification, not putting all your eggs in one basket, incredibly easy and affordable, allowing you to participate in the overall growth of the market or economy without needing to be a stock-picking guru. For beginners feeling overwhelmed, the path is simpler than you might think. Platforms offer fractional shares, meaning you can buy just a tiny part of a company's stock or an ETF share, sometimes starting with just a few dollars. Robo-advisors can even build and manage a diversified portfolio for you based on your goals and risk tolerance, often with very low fees. For earners already getting a paycheck, utilizing tax-advantaged accounts like 401ks through work, or setting up your own IRA, individual retirement account, are powerful ways to start investing consistently, often with significant tax benefits. As you grow and build wealth, yes, you can explore more complex avenues like real estate or private equity, but the foundation is the same: putting money to work. The absolute key here is simply to start. The greatest enemy of your potential financial growth isn't market volatility or choosing the wrong stock. It's fear and the resulting inaction. Understanding the basics, what risk tolerance means for you, why diversification is your friend, the power of thinking long-term instead of checking prices daily, is enough to get you moving. Don't let the complexity feel like a barrier. See it as a landscape to explore, one concept at a time. Your action step for this section is straightforward but powerful because it directly attacks the fear by building understanding. Spend just 15 minutes researching one basic investing concept that you honestly don't understand right now. Maybe it's, what exactly is an index fund? Or, how does diversification protect me? Or, what's the difference between a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA? Pick one question that feels like a hurdle for you. Then, find a reputable, beginner-friendly resource, a website like Investopedia, a reliable financial education channel, or a book chapter, and spend 15 minutes finding a clear, simple answer. That's it. One small step to demystify the secret club and take ownership of your financial future. Feeling lost in the maze of financial jargon? Does the mere thought of budgeting or investing make you want to crawl under a blanket? If you're nodding your head even just a little, this is a powerful signal. You might not be fully owning your financial education. Think about it. We don't expect to be fluent in French or able to ride a unicycle the moment we decide we want to. These are skills that require deliberate practice. Financial literacy is exactly the same. It's not some innate talent bestowed upon a lucky few. It's a muscle you build, a language you learn, one word, one concept at a time. The non-ownership approach? Well, that often looks like hoping someone else swoops in and magically sorts out your money, usually for a hefty fee. Or maybe it's winging it, making impulse financial decisions based on whatever your friend is doing, or the latest trend on social media, which, let's be honest, can be as reliable as trusting your grandma's secret sauce recipe to a TikTok dance. You wouldn't let a stranger pick your clothes for a job interview, would you? Why let random advice dictate your financial future? Owning your financial education is a conscious declaration. I am capable of understanding my money. It's about taking the steering wheel, deciding you will seek out reliable information, and bravely asking those dumb questions you think everyone else already knows the answer to. Spoiler alert, they probably don't. Here's the surprising insight, the one that can lift a huge weight off your shoulders. Most of the fundamental concepts in personal finance are not rocket science. They are understandable with focused effort. Budgeting? It's just tracking where your money goes. Saving? Spending less than you earn. Debt payoff strategies? Usually involves math no more complicated than basic addition and subtraction, plus a healthy dose of discipline. Basic investing? It's about putting your money to work so it grows over time. You absolutely do not need to become a Wall Street guru overnight. But you do need to know enough to make informed choices for your life, to spot potential pitfalls, and perhaps most importantly, to avoid costly scams that prey on ignorance. This journey of owning your education evolves as you do. For beginners, it might start with a simple library book or following a reputable online educator who breaks things down into plain English. Once you're earning more, you might look at taking a more structured course or even hiring a fee-only financial advisor to help you understand your options. For those who are building serious wealth, the learning continues, maybe diving into more complex investment strategies or understanding global economic trends. The key is this: continuous, intentional learning is non-negotiable for long-term financial well-being. It's not a one-time class. It's a lifelong habit. Ready to take that first step in owning your financial literacy? Ask yourself, what is one money topic that makes your eyes glaze over, or that you actively avoid thinking or talking about? Maybe it's understanding credit scores, the difference between a Roth IRA and a 401k, or just how to create a simple budget. Identify that one thing. Now, here's the one action I want you to try. Find one beginner-level resource. An article, a short podcast episode, a YouTube video, like maybe one from Flowzone. Just one metric on that specific topic. Consume it within the next 24 hours. Just one. It doesn't engaging with the material is the first step in taking back control and showing yourself you are capable. Financial ownership, my friends, isn't just about diligent budgeting apps or savvy investment strategies. While those are crucial tools, the deepest layers of wealth and stability are built in the often unseen space of your mind. Welcome back to Earn Flow Zone, where we tackle the whole picture. And today, we're diving deep into Section 10, Own Your Mindset Traps. Think of your mindset as the operating system for your financial life. You could have the most advanced software, like tracking apps or investment platforms, but if the core operating system is full of bugs or outdated code, everything runs poorly, crashes often, and ultimately sabotages your progress. Limiting beliefs like, "I'm just bad with money," are classic bugs. The fear of failure, or sometimes the fear of success, can freeze you like a glitch. Comparisonitis, that endless scroll through others' highlight reels on social media, is like trying to run your system on someone else's impossible specs, leaving you feeling constantly behind and inadequate. And the scarcity mentality, the deep-seated belief that there's not enough to go around or that money is inherently hard to get, is perhaps the most insidious virus of all. You see people doing all the right things externally, tracking every penny, setting aggressive savings goals, even landing a great job. Yet their internal dialogue tells a different story. They might track spending perfectly, but constantly feel like they're bad with money, no matter the numbers. Someone might get a significant raise, but feel guilty, undeserving, or terrified it won't last. Or perhaps they see others' seemingly effortless success online and get stuck in comparison paralysis, convinced they'll never measure up. These aren't just random thoughts. They are moments of non-ownership of your internal financial world. The surprising truth here, a real myth bust for many, is this: your internal financial dialogue often dictates your external financial reality. It's a powerful cause and effect loop. If you genuinely believe you'll always be broke, guess what? You'll unconsciously make decisions that reinforce that belief, perhaps avoiding opportunities, self-sabotaging progress, or spending impulsively because what's the point? If you operate from a place of scarcity, believing money is hard to come by and hoard, you'll approach earning and saving with fear, potentially missing out on growth because of excessive caution. It's like trying to build a strong house with a cracked foundation. Different stages often face different traps. Beginners might wrestle hard with scarcity. "There's no way I can save," or feeling completely overwhelmed. "This is too complicated." Earners scaling up might face the pressure of comparison and the seductive pull of lifestyle creep. "I deserve this fancy car because I earn more," fueled by seeing others online. Builders accumulating significant wealth might grapple with the fear of losing it all or the sheer burden of responsibility. Recognizing your specific money mindset traps is absolutely crucial because you can't fix what you don't see. It's like shining a light into those dark corners of your mind. So, how do you start owning this internal territory? This one habit changed everything for me when I began noticing my own financial self-talk. It's simple, but requires conscious effort. For just one day, pay radical attention to the thoughts that arise whenever you think about money, spending, earning, or investing. Don't judge them, just notice them. Carry a small notebook or use a notes app. Write down one negative or limiting thought you notice. Then, challenge it. Write down one piece of evidence from your reality that contradicts that thought, or simply reframe it more positively and realistically. For example, if the thought is, "I'm bad with money," the evidence might be, "I successfully paid all my bills this month," or the reframe is, "I'm learning to manage my money better every day, and each step counts." This isn't about toxic positivity. It's about recognizing the story and anchoring back to fact or a growth-oriented perspective. Do this for just one day, and you'll be amazed at what you uncover. It's the first step to rewriting that internal code. Finally, welcome to a crucial truth about building lasting financial health, one that separates the perpetually anxious from the confidently growing. Financial ownership isn't a destination you reach, sign some papers, and then you're done. Think of it less like arriving at a finish line and more like starting a lifelong fitness journey. It's a continuous practice, a muscle you keep exercising, refining, and building. You don't just declare, "I'm financially fit," and then stop going to the gym, right? Life happens, and it loves to throw curveballs right at your carefully constructed financial plan. There will be setbacks. You'll probably overspend one month, maybe on something completely frivolous, because hey, that new gadget looked cool online. We've all been there. You might take on unexpected debt due to an emergency or a poorly thought-out purchase. An investment you were banking on could take a nosedive thanks to market volatility that makes no sense whatsoever. This is normal. It's life interacting with your money. The non-ownership response, the easy default for many, is to get completely discouraged, maybe even give up, and slide back into blaming external factors. The economy is terrible. Each way, or equally unhelpfully yourself, I'm just bad with money. It's the equivalent of skipping every workout after one bad session. But here's the surprising, powerful insight that changes everything. Resilience in the face of financial challenges isn't built through avoiding those challenges. It's built through consistent ownership during and after them. The ownership response is fundamentally different. It views the setback as data, not disaster. It's a learning opportunity, a moment to adjust your plan, lick your wounds, maybe literally if you stubbed your toe running to the bank, and keep going. Like a runner hitting a wall during a marathon, they don't just sit down and cry, unless they're really hitting the wall hard. They adjust their pace, fuel up, and persist. Think about beginners learning to budget. They will mess up, miscategorize expenses, and blow their restaurant allowance. Earners pursuing a side hustle might fail at their first few attempts to land a client or sell a product. Experienced builders managing complex investment portfolios will see losses. It's part of the game. The difference isn't the setback itself, it's the response. Do you quit or do you course correct? Reviewing your budget after you blew it. Revisiting your financial goals after an unexpected expense throws you off track. Adjusting your investment strategy after a market dip. These are not signs of failure. These are the very acts of ongoing ownership. This principle is what separates those who build lasting financial security, brick by deliberate brick, from those who are perpetually stuck on the financial roller coaster, always reacting, never building momentum. It's about getting back on the horse, adjusting the saddle, and continuing the ride. So here's your action prompted by this principle. Look back at the actions you identified or perhaps even started in sections 3 through 10 of this journey. Which one felt the most challenging? The one you maybe haven't done yet, or the one where you hit a snag and stopped? Maybe it was setting up that first budget, confronting a debt, or researching an investment. Choose that one specific action. Commit right now, in the next 7 days, to revisiting or attempting that specific action again. Ownership isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up consistently, especially after a stumble. This one habit of returning to the challenge changed everything for me. It turned potential failures into valuable lessons and built resilience I didn't know I had. So, where does all of this leave you? We started this journey talking about that unsettling feeling, maybe like being a passenger on a financial runaway train. Everything happening to you, blaming the tracks, the engineer, even the weather, anything but ourselves. We've explored the profound principle of financial ownership, a concept far more radical and empowering than it might seem at first glance. It's the idea that you possess vastly more agency, more innate power, and, yes, more direct responsibility over your financial reality than perhaps you've ever fully grasped. This isn't about manifesting a perfect, polished balance sheet overnight. Let's bust that myth right now. Financial ownership isn't about immediate perfection. It's about claiming your decisions, taking charge of your habits, actively building your knowledge, and consciously choosing your response to financial circumstances, no matter how challenging they appear. Think of it less like buying a mansion instantly, and more like moving from renting your financial life, passively accepting the terms, to owning your financial throne. Even if that throne feels like a simple stool right now, it's yours. You choose where it sits and who gets to sit on it. What happens if you listen to everything we've discussed and then ignore this core lesson of ownership? The cause-effect is stark. You stay precisely where you are. You remain reactive, perpetually on the back foot. Money continues to feel like something that happens to you, an external force you can only brace against. You'll keep pointing fingers, keep flinching when you glance at your bank account balance, and that familiar knot of stress in your stomach will likely remain a constant companion. You stay on that runaway train, white-knuckling the ride, hoping by some miracle it eventually stops somewhere good, but fundamentally having zero control over its direction or speed. That, my friends, is a heavy, heavy price to pay, just to avoid a little discomfort or effort now. Maybe the heaviest. But if you choose to embrace ownership, the trajectory shifts dramatically. You gain control, not of the external economy, but of your internal financial world, your actions, your reactions. You build genuine resilience because you stop seeing problems as insurmountable fates and start seeing them as solvable challenges. You begin to align your money, your resources, with your actual goals and values. You build momentum, not through luck, but step by deliberate step. You become the architect of your financial future, drawing the plans and laying the bricks, rather than just an anxious observer watching someone else build. This isn't about magically becoming a millionaire tomorrow. It's about becoming powerful over your money, impactful in your choices, today. Throughout this script, we've identified potential actions: tracking your spending for a week, researching salary benchmarks, listing out all your debts, setting up an auto-save transfer, researching a basic investment concept, tackling a specific knowledge gap that's holding you back, or even challenging a limiting money mindset you've held for years. Looking at that list might feel overwhelming, right? Like trying to eat a whole elephant. But here's the surprising truth, a core habit that changes everything. Financial ownership doesn't demand you conquer the entire list at once. It starts with a single, focused step. Your final, most critical action right now, today, is this. Choose one action from the ideas we've discussed in this entire script, just one thing that resonates most deeply with you or feels most achievable in this moment. And then, do it. Not tomorrow, not next week when you have more time. You won't, probably. Do that single thing. Take that single step within the next 24 hours. Set the auto transfer for that small amount. Look up the definition of compound interest. Write down one single expense you had today. Text your friend to ask about that budgeting app they use. Whatever it is, however small it feels, take that one concrete step. Claim that single piece of ownership over your money, your habits, your knowledge today. It's the ignition key. It's the first brick. It's the single step that begins the marathon. Your future self, the one who is in control and building deliberately, is waiting for you to take the reins right now. That first step is waiting.